Hello again, and welcome back to Turkish Spotlight Secrets. Today, we explore something that goes far beyond what happens on a television set. This isn't just about two actors or a passing media headline. This is a layered emotional situation that touches on fame, connection, and the fragile boundaries between professional partnership and personal emotion. The names at the center of this growing storm: Yagmur Yüksel and Barış Baktuz. Over the last few months, an undercurrent has begun to form, quiet at first, almost invisible. But slowly, that undercurrent has grown louder, fueled by whispers from sets, online speculation, and the sharp eye of an audience that knows how to read between the lines. People are asking, is something happening between Yagmur and Barış? And if so, what does it mean? To understand this fully, we have to look at both individuals, not just as public figures, but as people. Yagmur Yüksel, still early in her career, carries herself with the confidence of someone who knows she belongs in this world, but also with a vulnerability that draws people in. In interview after interview, she's been praised for her openness, her relatability, and the genuine warmth she brings to even her most complicated roles. And Barış, he's no newcomer. His work has earned him a loyal following and critical acclaim. But what's striking about Barış isn't just his talent, it's his discipline. He doesn't overexpose himself. He doesn't chase viral moments. He lets his work speak. It's why when rumors like these surface, they don't feel manufactured. They feel accidental, organic, maybe even real. It started with small things. The way Yagmur and Barış looked at each other during press events. How easily they laughed together. The casual way they touched one another's arms in photos. At first, fans called it chemistry, professional magic. But soon, it began to feel more intimate than scripted. There were moments that seemed to transcend acting, moments that made even skeptical viewers pause and wonder. Then came the murmurs from those inside the industry. Crew members began to comment off the record about what they'd seen during breaks on set. Nothing scandalous. No public displays of affection. Just closeness. The kind of closeness that doesn't need words. The kind that speaks in silence. But here's where the story sharpens into something far more delicate. Barış is married. His personal life has always been quietly protected. No scandals, no attention-seeking. He and his wife, though rarely seen together in the media, have always presented an image of mutual respect and privacy. And that's why this moment matters. Because if Yagmur's feelings go beyond professional admiration, and if Barış feels even a fraction of the same, what happens next could affect not just careers, but real lives. People close to Yagmur say she's struggling, that she's tried to keep her emotions private, even from herself. That the depth of what she's feeling has caught her off guard. And that she's deeply aware of the line she must not cross. But emotions don't always ask for permission. They arrive unannounced and linger long after we wish they would leave. The public has noticed a shift, too. Her interviews have grown more introspective. She's less animated, more thoughtful. In one recent appearance, when asked about love, her voice faltered for just a second, barely detectable but not missed by fans. Sometimes, she said, what we feel can't always be acted on. And just like that, speculation exploded. Social media, as always, has taken sides. Some fans admire her courage. Others accuse her of disrespect. Some call it tragic. Others call it dangerous. But what most seem to agree on is this: whatever is happening, it's emotionally real. And that emotional reality is what's making this story impossible to ignore. What about Barış? He has remained, as always, composed, silent. His professionalism on set has not wavered. Those close to the production say he treats everyone with kindness. Shows up early, stays late, and avoids any hint of impropriety. But silence can say a lot. Sometimes it protects, sometimes it evades. And sometimes it waits until it knows what to say. We don't know what his wife thinks. She hasn't made a statement, hasn't been seen with him at recent events, hasn't posted anything that even hints at what might be unfolding behind closed doors. Is she unaware, unconcerned, or quietly devastated? We may never know. But this silence, the collective silence of all three people at the center of this, is almost louder than words. So, where does that leave us? We're in a space of uncertainty, a space where every public moment feels like it could be interpreted one way or another. Did he smile too warmly? Did she linger too long in that scene? Are they simply two dedicated professionals caught in a whirlwind they never intended? Or is there something more, something fragile and unspoken waiting just beneath the surface? And what does it mean for their work? Because here's the irony: their emotional authenticity. The very thing making headlines is also making their performances magnetic. Fans can't look away. Ratings are high. Clips are shared thousands of times. And all of it rests on the chemistry that has now become something of a mystery in itself. Maybe that's the real story. Not whether they're in love, not whether boundaries have been crossed, but how two people caught in the complexities of fame and emotion continue to do their jobs with grace under pressure. Maybe that's what we're really watching. Not a love story, but a story of restraint. Still, the questions remain. Will Yagmur step back for her own sake and his? Will Barris address the rumors, put an end to speculation, protect the people involved? Or will they simply carry on as they have, silent, professional, and emotionally entangled? Whatever happens next, one thing is clear. This story has already left a mark, not just on the people living it, but on the thousands watching from the outside. It reminds us that fame doesn't shield you from feeling. That love, even unspoken, leaves traces. That admiration, when mixed with loneliness or vulnerability, can bloom into something harder to name. It also reminds us to be gentle with those in the spotlight, with those behind the camera, and with ourselves. Because emotion is rarely clean, and hearts don't always behave the way they're supposed to. Thank you for spending this time with me. I hope this story gave you something to think about, feel, or simply reflect on. If you found it meaningful, I invite you to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and come back next time for more insights into the emotional side of fame and the people who live it, flaws and all. Until then, take care of yourself. And remember, some stories unfold not in headlines, but in glances, in silences, and in everything left unsaid.